and Marie Saruk is coming up. So what is our question? Our question is about the word Yehi Lo Ksiv. There's different ideas about the double yuds, the hay in the middle, something like that. So he says, Befirish Marie Saruk. What's he say? Shabir kam the fidarko le'el, the man betadshe ha'aretz hu lo shlim. Why? Mishum shene'em b'bechov rak shem Elokim ein sham. Over there he says that the name Elokim indicates, I guess, just the left side, or there's no yichud. But this kashach of the SIFRA that's niyutakan, so he said, Hirgish acher kach kusha. So I thought that this was, what is it? Anyway, there's another part, something I sensed over here. Ki be'ira zech bilvad shal tadshe yeshem Elokim levado. V'halacha v'gam b'matzah bereishis, go over that. Shal yom rishon v'sheni v'gam lo nizgar sham ki im Elokim bilvad. So now we answer Yehi Lo Ksiv, because there you have Yehi was not written. Kolomer B'yamim Arishon V'Rabeis Kasav Yehi. There it writes the word Yehi. So Yehi brings us into this idea. What's the idea? V'Chafidush Kasav Shem Elokim Bilvad. Even if you only said the name Elokim and it wasn't Menukab, he's talking about the Shem Mole, which is a Shem with a Nukudas of Elokim. Even if it was just the plain word Elokim Bilvad. We call Makom Bechinas Yehi Tiken Akol, because the word Yehi has the power to be Misaken Akol. Kasher Mefarsh V'Azel, he's going to get into it. Lola Holon, we're going to see them Sifches. Let's see, he says at Lohalon, so he says Shuhu Ke'ilu Omer Havaya Elokim. That's really about the same thing. So Yehi is not written by Deshe. Okay, so moving on. Number Hey. Rei B'Pirush Talmud. Shabir Kan Inyan Yehi Lo Ksiv. Shukha B'Mayim B'Chodosh. V'Shaych V'Sif Habo. Umavar Lefi Gavola Marie Sarok, according to what we got up there. Ke Gimels Osios Yehi. Heim Sod Tlas Ration. Shabbatakidus Olam Achatzilus. There's the three heads, which I'm assuming, he's actually got to name them, I think. So, Tlas Ration Shabbatakidus Olam Achatzilus. Hanikroim Resha Lolo is Yidecha V'Resha the Ain, V'Resha the Erik Anpin. So you could see that Elesa the Lo Isyada sounds like, well, we understand it's the Resha of Atik. V'Resha the Ain, I'm not sure what that is. I don't see that used so much. So I'm assuming, though, that it means the Gufa the Atik. And because then he comes to the Resha the Rich. So he said, V'heim Keser Chochma Bina. These also corresponds to the Kochov Shel Malchus Ta'ak. Okay, the very top, if you wanted to see exactly where this was lined up, it would be the very bottom of Ak. The very bottom of Ak is the Keser Chochma of that, it's the very top of the very bottom of Ak. Shehu Sod Gimel Osius Yehi, which he says, in fact, that's the secret of these three letters. Now, how is that? He said, Kochochma Rabbeinu Chaim always Yak. V'Keser Shehu Kutsu Shel Yud, who owes Yud no Cephas, so it's right in there at the same time. Ve'elu Klas Reishim Lo Ksiv Ba'osiv Shem Havayim. So he says the three, when you come to the three heads, these three heads they just mentioned, Lo Ksiv Ba'osiv Shem Havayim, there are no letters where you see the word Havayim appear there. Why? So just understand, he says that the Havayim, if you had a microscope that was able to look into that, you wouldn't find Havaya. I think that's what he means. V'eilecha b'tlas reisha lo chasiv ba'osiyah shem Havaya. Kishem Havaya hu ba'olam achatzilus. Yem Havaya is in the world of Atzilus. In other words, it's a further manifestation. This is before that manifestation. V'eitlas reisha that we're talking about. In Ne'olam, and they're completely and totally hidden. There's nothing you could make out of them. Lamala v'gamri, they're up beyond the name Yud Kei Vav Kei. Resha de Eric Anpin. So even you say that, well, what about the Resha de Eric Anpin? And we know Eric Anpin is the core of the core here, right? V'chafilu Resha de Eric Anpin who Rosh Shlishi Lamata Mekulam is below all of them, closest to us. Einu Nirmaz B'Shem Havai, but nonetheless the Rosh of Eric Anpin. You can't put the name Havai on the rock, but Kutsu Shel Yud. Only do you see there the tip or that little stick out on the Yud. Now on this one, there is a note that might be interesting to look at. And it said like this, okay, so I got things bounced around here. So, okay. Rabbi Perish Talmud Sham Bezel Lashonu, he says, now let's look at what the Talmud, so we're just looking at the Talmud. So I'm assuming the Talmud must be one of the students who wrote a book in which he titled it. You know, he authored it by the name of the Talmud. So I think he's really quoting about a set of quotes from over there. Anyway, Yehi lo ksiv krinin yud. What is that? Yehi lo ksiv krinin yud. Now what does that mean? Pirush. Hashem havaya kolol kol olam atzilus. That's what he said previously. Hainu. But what is called olam atzilus? He says olam atzilus is actually all contained in the letter yud. Let me see if I'm doing this right. He says hainu kutsu shel yud hu HAKETER. I'm sorry. And then, well, it wasn't wrong, but I didn't get it exactly right. Kutsu shel yud hu HAKETER. Yud ba'atzma was chachma, and the hey is bina. The vav, the vav kitzvos are all, I guess, in the last hey, which is their anpin. Hey achrona, which would be the final hey, which is malchus. V'hinei sheyesh l'malo gimel, but up above that there are three heads. Or let's say, instead of up above, let's say he said panimi to that. There were three heads shehim ketzer chachma bina, of what? Of the Shema, of the Malchus of Ak. And that's the lowest part of the Malchus of Ak, but the highest part of the Malchus of Ak. And that winds up with these three heads. V'heim reisha lo isyadach of reisha de ein v'reisha de erik anpen. Says it again. So he said, V'hindach b'kesar chochma binach hein sod yak. We already know that Knisker, we said, like between those two letters by themselves, you have the entire name that could be developed out of that. The nimsaki lamala mazel, havaya mazala mazel havaya the olam chatzilus yesh od yudkai. There's another yak there, becholoma, which is hidden. Of a lochal kasiv, but it's never written down. Now, this phrase, I didn't really understand it that well. So he said, I'm going to go back to where it says, V'hinei, Keser Chochma Bina, Hein besod the letters Yud and K, which I guess would come from the name Yud K Vavke, Knisker. Nimsa ki lamala mizeh, but up above that, this mizeh havaya, the olam atzilus, Yesh od yak b'holoma, there's another Yud and K, but that is completely and totally hidden. Of a lo ksiv, but it's not written. It can't be written. Kalfilu arich anpin l'god l'holom, also because he's so completely panimi, not to be able to be seen, so hidden. Eina meruzas rak b'kulza shel yud, his only remiss to him is only in that tip on the yud ad kan. Okay, so that means that there's something much more panimi to that. Let's go on to the next one, which is number, let's see, we did that. Okay, number Vav. So number Vav, he says, Rei Bahadras Melech, Shabir Kam V'zel L'shana Yehi Lo Kasiv, Pirush the E cause of Yehi, Dasha Ba'aretz. So let's say if he would have written that, Az Havashalem, then he would have been born out, he would be complete, Kamosha Amba B'smoch, Yud Ilo Shuhu Abba. The first Yud is Abba. Yud Tata Shuhu Zer Anpin. Hey Shehi Bina B'Gavai, who is in between them, I guess. Bein Abba the Zer Anpin. Az klal the shlim shlim. Then you have what you have the general category of the shlim shlim, the shaloshtem kolulim b'tevis yehi. Because now here you could see this word yehi is bringing them all together. It's mashma, as we've seen a lot of different times. But yehi also brings us to the concept of completeness, which is born the birth of Zeranpin. Bataja yehi lokasiv. So bataja and he there it's not written. Lakach lo shlim ad kan. This is really pretty much an idea that we've had already. We've seen that. Let's look and see if we could do this one. This one has a little more riches to it. So let's see what it is. Now we like the Yafashah. So Rabbi Yafashah Shabir Kan Seder Haloshan. So he says over here the order of this language is Yehi lo kasiv krinin, the milas yehi he bifnei atzma. Now what does that mean? He says yehi is, we don't read yehi over here. I guess we're talking about the desha. The milas yehi he bifnei atzma, which means what? V'achakach sarach lomer milas lo kasiv krinin. Now this is a context that I don't have exactly, but I think he explains it better as he goes along. So v'achar kach sarech lomer milas lo ksiv krina. So we don't write the kriya. That's why I'm doing it right now, but I think he might have a better answer down below. The milas krinin shaykh l'sif hazeh. So really, when we say this word krinin, we don't read it, we don't say it. Lo ksiv krinin. So okay, so he says v'lo l'sif haba b'ferish sharam b'farshim. So this is what we're saying. This is our topic. It's the topic of bringing down the Hey Gevuras the Ima, the Malchus Shem Lo Shlim, which are not complete. Why not? What's the problem? So in the Nesira, so after the Nesira, or the Dormita, I guess, then you have Ima bringing in the Hey Gevuros into Malchus. Shehem lo shlim, but they're not complete. Okay, and then the lokachas me'imach of rak ha'hei gevuras v'lo hechasadim ein sham, and that's the reason, because it's only gevuras. So therefore, she can't be complete. She still needs chasadim from ima. Well, the ZOHAR b'Rambam b'SIFRA d'tzniutakhan b'mila yehi milas yehi. So that's where this word yehi comes in. Kolomer how? Ki lomer, that is to say, kolomer ki achar kach mishama. Then when she also gets the hechasadim. So let's think back. I'm thinking that she has to get the hechasadim through a yichud with zeranpen, and that the hechasadim of ima, just like just from, like say, from Ab as well, have to come in. If they're going to come into the nukva, they're going to have to come in through zeranpen. That's what I'm thinking. So he said, Kolom, let's go back. Kolom ki achar kach, kashemalchut mekabelet me'ima, gam hei chasade bebechin shlim. Az na'aset sirif yehi. That makes the combination of yehi. Now, exactly how that goes with yud k, and it brings down the other yud. Is that the other yud is supposed to mean the chazade kamosha is boy lochalon. We're going to say it again. This is the last lush of the Yafashah Sham. Yehi beferish pirush sha'achar kach. So even though it's now taking the Hey Chasadim from Ima, Badalad Yom and Shebein Yom HaKippurim L'Chag HaSukkos, I think we've seen that before. Yehi Na'asat Siruf Hashem Yehi, so Yehi Na'asat Siruf Hashem Yehi Ad Kan. So it's a little out of order. This word Yehi becomes a combination. The name Yehi is some kind of a combination. No, let's see. V'shuv Amr B'Sifra d'Tzniuta, we have more here. Lok Siv Krinin. Now we're going back to that word, Lok Siv Krinin. What is that? How do you translate? Bir ha'yaf yisham shab v'sol d'shon Lok Siv Elokim. Oh, it's missing a word. The word Elokim is not written. For Krinin Elokim, but we read it as Elokim. Okay, Lok Siv. The word Elokim is not, because we've been talking here now about the use of the word Elokim. So now he said, let's say Elokim Levado. And here we see that what we're getting in other places is an Elokim which actually is in the name Chavaya. So let's say Lokasiv Elokim, Yukrinin Elokim, Vikarinin Elokim. We call it that. When in the actual we're saying it, when you see that name, we call it Elokim. The Hocham Amariki Ola Rabihira Malchus ad Imari Law. So this is a case where, okay, that's the case. I'm trying to think of how I see that, Elor. Hilkach lo nog nichtav Elokim befavor. So therefore, since you have this movement from down below up to up above, and that's really what's happening over here, he says, therefore, we don't write the word Elokim befavor. But even so, when we read it, we actually say Elokim instead of Yudke Vavke. But so the chazar of the pasuk Adni Havaya. So let's say like this. It goes back to the pasuk where it says the two names Adni and Havaya, Atachilosa, and that over there, that Havaya over there, is got a bina in it. So that would be the movement of the Adni over to the Havaya with the bina in time. Atachilosa, you are the one who begins to show me tzarata. Dechsev Havaya b'nikud Elokim, and that Havaya is a nikud Elokim. Nizbar b'Yafashah la'el, so the Yafashah explains up above, Shechu b'sod Aliyas Malchus Hanikras Adni, and this whole phrase is that secret, the secret of the Aliyah of Malchus, which is called Adni, Al Bina Hanikras Havaya, but this Bina has a nikud of Elokim Ein Sham v'al Zechab Mosif Khan. It doesn't specifically have it written. It's not written there. Ella b'remiza, only the fact that there is that the nekudos change. So there's more on that down below, and we'll look at it again next time. So let's turn this off here and go on to the next one.